welcome to Dire Bear. It's Tuesday night, so of course that means we're playing Valley by Night River City, our Vampire 5th Edition actual play. I'll be your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me as usual will be Duba playing Walter, Sarah playing Emma, and Jeremy playing Egidio. And hopefully we'll have an Eric later, but who knows. Work sucks, apparently.
I know.
I almost sang that, and then I realized I can't sing, so I didn't. But
legally distinct.
Hopefully he'll be able to make it, but I'm sure we can all sympathize.
Yeah.
All right. So which of you remembers how we wrapped up last week?
We are all adults with full-time jobs. Anyway.
We're all people with full-time jobs. Let's not get crazy saying we're adults here.
As for where we left off, I'm fairly confident we had done a meeting or two.
We had a couple meetings.
Yeah, it's fixed. We had a couple meetings. I think we were even planning to do another one coming up. I could be wrong.
We ended with a plan to poke into Camarilla territory.
Yeah, I think we ended with, and then possibly a meeting once we heard back from the informants that were trailing Stafford's vehicle.
Oh yeah, that is the thing we're doing, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, and I cannot stress this enough, huh?
Look, the man made you a peace offering. Clearly, you immediately attempt to track him back to his table.
Clearly.
But yes, you'd had a meeting with Stafford early in the evening, and then immediately called a meeting with as many other barons as could show up. And quite a few of them managed to roll out for it.
Vampires like to gossip. What can we say?
Does Egidio know that there's someone stalking the limousine?
He was at the meeting.
I believe Kyle mentioned it at the meeting.
Kyle mentioned he was going to, but he hasn't done it yet.
No, he had called in the I believe it was crows he was using.
Mm-hmm.
And he had sent them out before the meeting. He has not heard back from them yet.
Okay,
because he was talking about whether they would track him. He was asking me whether they would track him down or.
Okay.
And my thing was basically he need to go back to where he sent him out from because they don't know where he lives.
Okay, that's different. I thought it was him personally doing that. I was like, because because Egidio knows that there's at least one dude on the top of the car, probably at all times.
Just lives there, parks, and he's still on top of it.
They just toss him a morsel every now and then.
I mean, you have that. There's that one potent power that lets you grip real hard on the stuff.
Yeah, uncanny grip. It actually gives you that ability to hang upside down and everything like a vampire can.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not the one that damages the surfaces though?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, because basically you're literally using your strength to just dig your fingers or toes into said surface. And it's like, yes, this is fantastic. However, that leaves far too much evidence.
Take the whole thing with you.
Take the roof off. You can't tell if there's fingerprints in it if there's no roof.
Anyway, so y'all are driving back to your domain. Because I know the Barons meeting was wrapping up when we ended last time. On your way back, you get a text. It's from one of the Outer Barons. Uninvited guests. Quite a few uninvited guests. Could someone bring Let's see how we worked over a text.
Need a bouncer to get him out of this party.
Need
We're
help.
drunk, we need to
Need
get
help
an Uber.
convincing them to leave. And this is just kind of sent out to, on the group chat that like all the barons can use, though y'all don't use it very often.
The Baron party line.
Party people in the house. Let's go.
No. Looks around at the other people as she's driving. Or so we go into this party?
You don't have to call it a party out loud.
I know, but it's fun.
Yeah. Maybe they heard our brilliant idea.
We weren't that loud.
Just text Kyle that we're making a detour so that he knows.
Burns the car that way.
Yep.
Did they mention where the party was occurring in the text? And I thought, were we in one of the southern baronies? Because you'd mentioned that the meeting was pretty far away from the border.
Well, I think it was more on the.
All right.
Border?
Which map do I have y'all on? All right, I've got y'all on the city map.
Yep.
All right. So y'all were meeting like down here.
Okay.
You're getting the call from over here.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's gonna be across water and everything.
Mm-hmm.
See you soon.
So y'all gonna head out that way?
Well, I think HGD will text. I mean, it'll be a hot minute, but if no one else is doing it, I mean, I can lend a. We can lend a hand. We can lend a hand.
Any help would be appreciated. And you have a few other people throw in that on our way.
He'll set the GPS and just be like, to where he knows the the Southern Barons.
Which way you coming?
I didn't see the pings to where target is.
The target is over here. It's one of the far barons or outer baronies.
And then I'll say ETA about 15-20.
I don't even know if it would take us. I don't know. I don't have it. Never mind. I don't have a mile gauge on here.
20 minutes. You could probably get there in 20 minutes, depending on traffic. But this is the middle of the night, so traffic's not going to be bad.
Precious memories of driving to work at 4 a.m, going like 50 down the hill, down the street because no one else is there.
Oh yeah, that's the best feeling. It's just like no one's around.
Mm-hmm.
Every Southerner ever can agree to that. But anyway, Egidio will be like 20, 25, depending on outliers.
They are meeting up at. He suggests heading for Crow Cemetery.
Mm-hmm. They have a cemetery next to a wildlife refuge. Kind of fucked up.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I mean, the wildlife refuge might even be a cemetery too, if you think about it.
More than likely is.
There's a couple dead bodies in there, I'm sure.
In the world your characters inhabit, almost certainly.
We might have put some there. Who knows?
I don't think Egidio has wandered off that far to bury people.
That's someone else's territory. I have respect for myself.
I only put the bodies in my own territory. It would just be a faux pas.
Not even just my own territory, within the stretch of my own personal domain.
You got to keep an eye on them.
I might want them back in a little bit.
Yeah, you might need them for something. You never know. While they're driving, Emma will call their domain security and be like, "Hey, we are going to a little bit of an after party. If you guys can just keep a little extra alert."
Mal sends you back. Sure. Need any wingmen?
Not at the moment. We're not the only folks showing up for the after party, but keep it in mind. We may call for some assistance. We always know you guys are up for a good party.
Oh yeah, just let us know. We'll roll out the second you call.
I'll send a meme in that chat that says, "Don't date your boss."
Just gets a look in the window or the mirror from Emma, like, really?
Gotta throw them off the scent of you, and anyway.
And driving montage.
And driving montage. As y'all swing up here to the belt line. Oh, probably if I clicked on the map in roll 20 and not the actual Google Maps I had pulled up. And then you cut across.
I have a theoretical question for you, Jason, that is unrelated to anything we're doing right now.
We'll write it down so you remember later.
Yep.
All right. So as you're crossing through the wildlife refuge, because Highway 67 there, lots of bridges crossing over all that water, but it cuts through there. And it's really the only direct route from the main part of Decatur to these two outer baronies. Also to the city of Priceville, but, that's Cam territory.
Yep.
But it's a small enough town that it mostly keeps its head down in these big fights.
Good.
Or at least it has up to now. Let's see. Emma, you're driving?
Yep.
Oh, give me a wits awareness.
You say everyone but Emma?
No, Emma's driving. She's the one that needs to give it.
Okay.
The rest of you might or might not notice, but it doesn't matter.
It's going on the road. Now it's a human. Wait.
Now it's a deer. What's going on? 3.
Now it's a moose.
No, we don't need that type of horror.
Weremoose.
That would be terrifying.
I'm working on it as we speak.
Do you know how big a Kronos weremoose would have to be?
Yes.
Like, we're talking old gods kind of big, like...
Weird tentacles for the mouth.
Horned head.
So Emma, out of the corner of your eye, you see, as you're crossing over, some of the water, you see somebody spring out. Either they were in the water or right there on the bank in like some of the not mowed down recently grass. And they sprint out, and you see them drop. They're clearly about to try to shoulder check your car. Into the side, not in front.
She's gonna do her best to avoid it.
All right.
Sitting on the brake would, be just... How many vampires want to go through a windshield?
You got his stats right.
Didn't wear their seatbelts. It'll be great because I have nothing in drive, so...
I was gonna say, I hope Emma put something in drive.
Nah, Emma did not. Emma needs to stop driving.
You're an Uber driver.
She's not an Uber driver. She's DoorDash.
Okay.
She just needs to be able to drive herself around.
Point still remains.
She still needs to put point in drive, though, if she's going to be the main mode of transportation.
Well, generally speaking, you don't have to make rolls to just get from one place to the other.
Yeah.
Except for one, someone tries to
There's my
shelter
little
check your
brew
car.
hop friend. All right, and he's coming at you with some speed. I mean, he's moving at car speeds himself. But... All right.
Playing chicken with a brew hop.
Well, like I said, he's coming at you from the side, not from the front.
Yeah, but either way, we playing chicken with a bruja.
Yeah.
Nope.
All right, there's 4 for that. And his brawl. All right. Give me your drive roll.
Question, theoretically.
Uh-huh.
Say I have no dice in drive. What should I roll?
Dexterity.
That works. Three.
Okay, he got 1 success. And he got 1s on both his hunger dice.
Hey, what a spectacular fail.
Bad.
So while he was aiming for your side, he got a little, he saw you trying to get out, trying to either speed up or something, and he overcompensated and kind of got out in front of you. Trying to make the best of a bad situation, he goes down like he turns like he's going to try to catch the bumper and maybe flip the car. But he gets the timing all wrong, and you're just like.
I say, how messed up is the car though? Because that's probably close to hitting a deer.
You're probably going like 72.
Fair.
The car keeps driving.
Kincaid's gonna get to see it though.
It feels like something's for a little bit. It feels like something's dragging slightly.
Oh, don't
like
do that.
Like in the rear view, you see whoever it was you ran over. You see them tumble out behind the car.
Oh no.
So the whatever that little dragging sensation is not them. And then suddenly the car gives a little boom, boom, and it smooths back out.
I'm looking back there when I hear the rattling.
Yeah, Emma's looking in a rearview mirror every now and then.
Well, it's kind of dark here. Is there
another person under our car?
There's not a lot of light, so Egidio says since you're not driving and you can actually just take the time to and Walter if you want to if you're in the vehicle. Wits awareness.
I just waste anything, guys.
I mean, for the shiggles, I'm going to say Walter decided to take a ride instead of,
I will, on the other hand, activate heightened senses as I'm like looking back there because I'm like, what the fuck is that?
See, Walter would have to do a pretty good sprint to get over there in time to help. So
4 successes.
Even with his leaping ability, it would take a bit.
Yeah.
Ooh. That probably makes what, 4? No,
that's 3.
4 success. 3.
That's 3.
Oh, one was
10s.
The 10s only double up if you've got 2 of them.
That's right. Thank you.
Yeah, that's something they changed in this version. So I kind of like that change.
It's a good change.
Yeah, because it makes it better.
You see a long piece of the bumper, like sliver of like the plastic of the bumper. Like it had smashed mostly off, and then it was dragging, and then like maybe the wheel caught it.
Okay.
All right. Another body.
This is a description from personal experience.
Those personal touches,
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's how you're in the presence of a good storyteller. I will say as much to Emma. I'll be like, it's just the bumpers on another body. We're good.
Oh, okay.
Might want to check your tire after this though.
When we stop, yeah, we'll take a peek at that. looking at the dash, seeing if any low pressure lights are on.
What kind of car is it Emma
What?
drives?
Old.
A little sedan.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't. Depending on age, I don't know if it would have that.
My 15 and my 2013 does. So if it's probably in that age range.
Oldest Fluxmobile.
It's not as old as Jolene's car.
I
It's not
think
from,
so
it's
because
not
my
from the
truck.
80s.
Yeah.
But I say my truck's an 04, and I don't even think it has pressure sensors.
It can't vote. Okay, it's not that old. And I will be right back. My phone is ringing, and it's my mother.
Don't mind me. I'm just wandering down to get beverage, but I have headset on.
All right. We'll consider you still here then. All right. So y'all leave whoever that was behind.
I'm gonna keep looking back to make sure he doesn't, run back up on us.
What you see looking back behind you is he starts kind of trying to pick himself up. You see some other people run from the side and like, help him up and get him off the road.
Do I get an count on bodies?
At least 3 people run up to help him or check on him.
Okay.
And then
I'll
they
text
kind of
that
it's like they fall back to resume that position.
Okay. I will text as much to the group chat. I'll say there's a speed trap on, and I'll rattle off the name of the highway.
Okay.
At least, I'll say at least 4 pigs there.
There you go. Good use of terminology.
You get back a series of like thumbs up emojis.
Mm-hmm. Is that within our domain or the other domain? Like that stretch of highway?
Okay, so you're looking at the map of the city.
Yeah.
Let me switch over where other people can see, even though I'm not going to have the people set up right. So looking at this of the city, you see this little pale something over here, where I'm pinging.
Yeah.
That little pale bit there is your domain.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are over here, crossing their wildlife refuge.
Okay. Cool. Then yes, I would definitely have said as much too.
Okay.
The barons and no, just the barons.
Okay.
I probably would have tagged the local baron.
And you know
If
this
there
kind
is
of
one.
central part of the wildlife refuge.
Mhm.
It's primarily divided between 2 gangrel.
They're Anarch Gangrel, yeah?
One of them is.
I see.
One of them is Camarilla.
Mhm.
Neither of them are super active in politics. Each side so far has really just kind of relied on their guy to, keep an eye on the other guy, and mostly just nobody goes into the wildlife refuge. Cuts across. Usually you cut across the highway without any trouble, but as far as like moving, investigating deeper into it or anything, mostly people just don't bother.
Mhm.
Because resource-wise, there's not anything in there.
Yep. And that's as I'll just be like speed trap over here. Got like 4 pigs over there. If anyone's looking to make bacon tonight. GDO immediately gets put on a list, but it's not the Second Inquisition, so we're fine.
The Second Inquisition can be anywhere.
Yeah, but
much to my regret, I have the new Hunter the Reckoning book. All right, y'all make it the rest of the way through the refuge without any trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And you meet up at Grove Cemetery. You have to get off on some of the side roads and loop around. And while there's a neighborhood around here, it's not exactly super populated. You know, you've got houses on, by city standards at least, pretty decent plots of land.
Uh-huh. Still here, just grabbing.
Okay.
Apparently I'm getting dinner.
Back. Technical question: no one is injured or dead.
Oh, that's good.
No one's injured, no one's dead. Not for not trying.
All right, so y'all are arriving at Crow Cemetery.
You've arrived at your destination.
Weirdly, the street view for Crow Cemetery is just a bunch of houses. This is odd.
A little concerning.
Mm-hmm. So not a large cemetery at all. There's a few other vehicles there when you pull up. A kindred approaches you. Well, somebody approaches you. Gives a quick looking over.
I don't hear a heartbeat, so kindred.
Well, he like looks at Emma's face, and there's some recognition there.
Does Emma recognize this person?
You don't think so? Maybe.
You don't always know Tom from Bobby or Baron.
Fair enough.
Baron Hawthorne?
Yes.
Oh, thank you for coming. Please come over this way.
I don't know, the bumper came off.
And yeah, when you look, you see where all the plastic bit of the bumper is like, he hit kind of low, but he cracked all that, and
As long as the license plate is still there, we're good.
Is it?
No, not
I
the front
don't
one.
know.
No, you.
Oh, we don't. We just
You
need
have the
back
back
one in the
license
southern
plate, so.
states.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. In southern states, you only have to have one on the back. So.
Yeehaw, Alabama.
Or in my brother's case, he's got his old plate on where it goes, and the new plate stuffed in the window where it can be seen. Because he's just never bothered to screw it, swap them out. I have no idea why.
Weird. Egidio will look down at the car and be like, just tap it with his hand and keep going.
Just
Instantly falls apart.
And I will update the player, but the character knows that there's like 4 cam that were along for that assault, but only 1 came out.
Fantastic.
I have let Egidio has let the barony know.
So anyway, this guy leads you over there, and then kind of returns to the spot he was at. Clearly he's posted for guard. So as far as him recognizing you, maybe he was there as somebody's security at some other event you've been at. Apparently he was some flunky beneath your notice. Or maybe somebody's been passing around pictures of all the barons. Who knows?
Either thing's possible. Always has a hat on.
Becomes a game for the younger kindred to see if they can run by and snatch the baron's hat.
That game would end so badly.
Just dominate. You don't want to do that.
Dominate. I will rip off your arm if you try to do that.
So when you walk over, there's a cluster of kindred. You recognize some of the outer barons, or some of the people from the outer barony. They're standing by one tombstone. They've got a little map of the domain out, and they're talking about where the camera's setting up. As you walk up, they look up. They look up. Look up to you. Sounds like they're being respectful. They look over at you.
Howdy. That's what you
Barons?
guys say around here, right?
One of them's like, not as often as you think.
Okay. Continues forward. Is that like a Texas thing, or is that just they don't do that in Alabama?
We use howdy some. It's not just a whole lot.
All right. Fair enough. What's the situation here?
Sergio Scott that is the Baron of the East Outer Barony.
Nice. I will update my sheet.
Now, the East Outer Barony is that southern section on this side because it's two baronies. It's the one up here where that's being attacked, and then the one down here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Sergio tells you, he got a call for help. And came rushing over some people. They don't know where the local barony is.
So, Sergio is South Wheeler, or is that where we are right now?
Oh. What do you got on your notes as far as the names of these domains?
I don't. I have River Barony, I have North Wheeler, and I have South Wheeler.
Okay,
Those are the
Sergio
ones
would be
I don't
South
have.
Wheeler then.
Okay, that's what I thought. At a glance, clan. Not that I would know off the top of my head, but does he fit the bill of anything?
Sergio, y'all have met before.
Hmm.
I don't think you know who Sergio is.
But I just know he's a Baron.
Yep.
Okay.
It's not quite like the Cam where the Primogens will be the Primogen of a particular clan.
No, it's less that. It's more like this guy is in a leather jacket and it's like ripped to shit. I'm like, okay, he's probably a Bruja.
That's very, very stereotypical.
Stereotype for a reason. Even Blackjack had a leather black jacket.
But anyway, yeah, you just had a flood of people coming in from the north.
Mm-hmm.
Like some vehicles just crossed the river and then just, vans just dropped people off. Basically, they cross the bridge and there's this one little section as you cross the bridge that you could throw a Yui. And right there, they'd let people unload and the van itself would throw a Yui and head back over.
Is that people on our end that are like bringing troops in, or what's going on that? Or is that Cam on the other side?
No, that was how the Cam came in such force.
Gotcha. Okay. Interesting. That would explain the 4 back there.
So his best guess are these may be coming in from Huntsville.
Great.
Or could be Athens. Athens is straight north. So right now he's trying to get the people in the kindred of this barony a little organized. Right now they've been caught by surprise and kind of driven back.
Alrighty.
And yeah, he does not know where his neighbor is at the moment. just close my.
Do
Just
they
close
have
something by
any
mistake.
places they commonly hunt or anything like that?
How long has this been going on?
Oh, 30 minutes, 30, 45 minutes, something like that. That since he's been notified.
Okay.
There we go.
Welcome back. Or welcome in.
All right, let me get
So
you
what-
invited to the Zoom.
Well, I was about to ask what iteration of this screen are you using?
Oh, we're on the missing one person.
Okay, I literally just sat down, so get things loaded. Computer's being slow.
All right, well, we'll catch you up while that's going on.
Okay.
After the meeting with the barons from last week, you went off to check to see if any of your little spies had flown back yet.
Okay.
The rest of the guys that were loaded up in Emma's car got a text. The North Wheeler barony, which is one of the outer baronies, saying there was they were having a lot of unexpected guests. They could use some help getting them to leave.
Okay.
So Emma and crew headed across. Highway 67 cuts across the Wheeler Wildlife Refuge.
Mm-hmm.
As they're crossing the water, somebody ran out from the side, trying to look like they're trying to shoulder check the car.
Fun.
Missed spectacularly.
Yeah, bestial failure, critical failure, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
So instead of shoulder checking the car, they wound up kind of getting in front of it and then up under it.
Alrighty. Well, I know what Kyle would do in this situation.
I just
What
assume
sent
Kyle's in his truck.
text?
Huh? Oh, I'm
was gonna say-
involved?
I was gonna say I assume Kyle's in the truck.
Well, no, Kyle's truck is still being repaired.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true.
he ran there.
Ooh.
We did send him a text that we were where we were heading, though.
Yes, and I am in Zoom. But I do know what Kyle would do
Okay.
in this scenario. If I'll need to see the map just to make sure I'm giving you the right information. But no, Kyle would not be going to assist per se. Come on, computer. Work. Yay.
We got there.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna deal with a case that involves very angry spouses and potential lawsuits, so.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Say less of that. For
That's
legal
why
reasons.
That's why I'm leaving it at that.
Yep.
I'm not going into any kind of detail whatsoever.
Well, I guess.
Just beyond that's what earned me 2 hours overtime.
Oh boy. I
Which
guess.
is nice come payday, but you don't really like it when you're getting it.
No, not really. Okay, so would you mind showing me on the map where the attack is taking place?
All right. So this is the barony being attacked.
Uh-huh.
Y'all's meeting was over here.
Yeah.
This is where the guy tried to jump Emma's car.
Okay, so they're kind of coming sort of the attack point is in like this direction, roughly.
It's kind of like a speed trap. They're
That's
just on the sides of the highway.
As in, like the attack is coming from this way, or
No, the
coming from
attack.
this way?
The attack on the barony.
Yes.
They're driving across this bridge, and then right when they get across, there's a little spot where you can U-turn. I mean, you're not supposed to, but it's a clear enough spot you can fit a van through.
Everyone does it.
Okay.
And the vans are dropping people off there and then going back across.
They might be from Huntsville. They might be from Athens. We don't know.
Yeah, the South Wheeler guy said more than likely they're either from Huntsville or Athens. It's probably out of towners.
Okay.
When you fill him in about the attack back here, that could be local guys.
So Cam area is. Sorry, I'm gonna be freehanding. Cam area is here-ish. Cam controlled area.
No, that is August's area.
That's August's area. Okay.
And where August is.
August has over here. I mean, it's not like perfectly that whole area, but Molten Heights is over here, and where you see this street right here, a lot of this interior area right here is Cam. Not all of it. Like there's a wedge or so right here that's not.
So we have a chunk of Cam territory surrounded then, except for like this bridge area.
Yeah, they've got this little area, and then it wedges up to the river to where August, Maddox, and the Cam control territory all kind of meet up right around that bridge. It used to be the Helen Keller Bridge, but they tore it down.
Gotcha. All right, what Kyle's going to do is he's going to get Miles. Tell him to mobilize.
Okay.
The
folks. Emma had already had him making sure that he had kind of like everybody ready.
Yeah. And since the Cam are attacking here, what Kyle's going to do is he's going to gather forces and he's going to hit here and try to cut off that access point that the Cam have to the primary portion of their territory from the north.
Okay. Run that by me one more time. Try to visualize that.
Yeah, I'll freehand. So if Cam potentially out-of-towners are hitting this direction.
Okay.
What Kyle's going to do is he's going to come up 31. And he is going to basically try to take out any Cam strongholds or things that they're holding on to here to cut off the Cam territory in the middle of the city. Because if they're concentrating forces elsewhere, then he wants to hit them at another location. So they might potentially have to split forces.
Oh, I got you.
Deal with it.
May want to let August and Maddox know about that if they're doing it.
Are they here?
And yeah, he will. He'll shoot a message to August and Maddox before this goes through. He'll tell them, "Hey, gathering the boys, gonna put Sun Tzu to work."
August, you get question marks back from August.
To which his response to that is a bridge emoji and N. And NW.
And Maddox's response is basically Lord.
Yeah. But yeah, he'll reply to them both with the bridge emoji and NW. Say he's heading for the Northwest Bridge.
Now, you know that the... let's see here. What is that business? The Cam have a stronghold in a... Basically, as you're going by on 6th Avenue, there's a Shell gas station, and there's like a business back behind them that may have been a garage at one time. It's got like a fenced in back area. Hasn't had a business there in years. That's the building they've got forted up in that area.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna hit with all the guys.
You know, right across the road from them, not 6th Avenue, but the other road, there is a Hilton hotel. Maddox keeps people there. You know, he's got control of that hotel. And then on the east side of 6th Avenue is where August has got a bunch of his people.
Yeah, basically, Kyle is while his thought process is they might potentially be pulling cam forces around to hit that area to the east.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna punch in to that stronghold to the west, and either force them to divide forces, or as to go, hey, you're hitting us. We're not just gonna play defensive here. We're hitting you back.
Who are you sending on this quest?
It will be Kyle, and he's going to basically be leading the Brewha Brute Squad.
HEDO's going with you then.
Okay. I didn't know if you were in the car with the rest of them.
Oh, okay.
This is why I was just saying, is just Kyle going? Because he had to go by foot to get back. I didn't know what you all were doing over there.
Yeah, we
so
drove back. Yeah,
all right. I'm working under the assumption that y'all had separated after the meeting.
Yeah, that's
because you were going off to where you had summoned the crows to get their intel.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm also getting these texts of like Northwest Bridge. I'm like, God damn it, Kyle.
Well, I think he said he was sending those to Maddox in August, so he might have left y'all out.
Yeah,
that's fair.
We have no idea what's going on. They're just back there.
Yeah,
talking to birds.
And that's why I'm just saying this is what Kyle's doing, because I don't know what you all were doing before I got here.
Sure.
So just this is what he would be doing in the interim while you all were doing your thing.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I just realized I had Eric and Duba in the wrong windows.
The party.
Oh, you have split the party. That's
Fine.
hardly the first time this has happened in this campaign.
Right.
Yeah.
Or in any of our campaigns, really.
All right.
Well, usually we don't allow him this pleasure.
Usually I'm not 2 hours late from work, too.
Fair.
Yeah, definitely a case of work sucks.
Yeah. So, that's what Kyle's doing. If y'all were in the middle of something, continue on.
All right. So over in the North Wheeler barony, they're showing you maps of the neighborhood, which houses, well, they're not showing you which houses have havens in them. That would be dumb to have a map like that. But
I know.
But they are showing you some of the buildings that they use. There's a landscape office that, when it's closed at night, the local baron kind of uses that as his HQ. They know for sure the camo have overrun it. That seemed to be where all their people beeline to.
Have they sent scouts?
He has sent a couple out there waiting on them to get back.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any digital, intel cameras or anything that you guys can access to look at what's going on that may or may not have been
Is this
turned
the
off?
part where you tell me they're in the stronghold?
There's a couple of cameras for the landscaping business. But yeah, you'd have to be in the landscaping business to access those.
Ooh.
Or,
contact, their
illegally.
security company or, whatever. They usually get turned off, when there's business to be done there.
Mm.
Or old loops are played. The typical sort of tricks your folks have to do. All right, so y'all are sitting around strategizing. As you're doing this, more people are showing up. Some of the pack show up. August has sent some people since he's kind of over on that. He's closer to this side of town. He has sent some people. He's not here himself, but he has sent some people.
Alright.
Maddox was going to but then they get a message from him. His people have found a second party. They may have to show up at.
Have fun. Don't stay out too late.
Stay hydrated.
That really takes an entirely different meaning in this situation.
Has whatever context you wanted to have in this meeting.
Yeah. All right, so let's go. Let's start with Kyle. What is Kyle's strategy?
Well, first is I'm gonna make some rolls to see if he can have some avian friends take a look at it to see how well defended they are. And depending on those rolls, he will either take a more tactical approach or they will be storming the front gate. But he will also be open to options from Miles and Kincaid and them.
Okay. They're all about to get in the front door.
Okay. That is 2 successes to call on some owls. See if there's any nearby.
Okay, how many successes do you need for that?
Let me double check. I think I just need to succeed to call them, and it's up to you how many you're actually there.
Okay.
I think, but let me double check. It's a little ambiguous. Animalism. Oh, need to make a rouse check too. I succeed. Okay. Allows one summoning and unlimited communication. Simple communication requires no dice pool test. Persuading an animal to perform a service requires manipulation animalism roll. Difficulty depends on the task required. Summoning animals uses a charisma animalism. Difficulty depends on the scarcity of the animals summoned. So that's variable and up to you.
Okay. Well, owls are not uncommon.
Okay, so I got 2 successes. So if that succeeds.
Okay, you have about 5 owls show up.
Cool. Then it's 3 dice. He's gonna ask them to take a look over the over that building to see if there's anybody outside or anything or anyone they can see, like looking through windows or something like that. So I don't know if that'd be the base difficulty 3, because it says like having a bird keep an eye out for anyone entering the park at night is difficulty 3, while ordering any animal to defend a place with their lives is difficulty 6. So I don't know.
This should be 3. You're just telling them to take a look.
Okay. Nope, no successes. Zilch. Might I be able to con them with food? He had some food on him because of crows, so don't know if owls will accept it or not.
Probably not. Owls are a little bit more hunters related. They
Fair
tend to
enough.
be more mice, where crows are a little more omnivores.
Fair. Alrighty. So that doesn't work. Fortunately, I don't get any hungrier for the attempt, but okay. So he will turn to Miles and Kincaid. He's like, well, you might know this area a little bit better than me. Storm the front door. Ring the party bell.
Miles is like, might wait and see. Because y'all have shown up in the general area, probably on the Cam side of the street.
Yeah.
might wait and see, who gets here from Maddox in August, because this is sandwiched between their territory. They're going to know it better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Kyle would wait to see who shows up from them, so they might know the area better.
And in a little while, some cars pull up. You recognize some of the flunky guys.
Yeah.
August's like right hand man is there, and Maddox himself shows up.
Okay. Gentlemen.
Baron Adams. What are you planning this evening?
Well, our mutual friends seem to be throwing a party over to the east. It seems awfully rude that we don't give them a party here.
Maddox looks at you, hoping they'll have to pull some of their forces off.
Yep. And even if that doesn't work, if we do manage to take and hold it, we have effectively surrounded the camp. We'll need to reinforce this area against reprisal, but it'd be another avenue cut off from the forces inside the middle of the city.
Risky, potentially. But this may be a strike while the iron is hot sort of scenario.
That's what I was thinking. And if they've committed some of their forces to the attack to the east, they might be undermanned here.
Or they could be fully manned and the forces in the east could be out-of-towners.
That's also entirely possible.
Alright.
You all know this area better than me, so I'll defer to your judgment here. I'm an extra pair of hands.
Maddox and August Lieutenant, they start discussing, looking around who all they've got, how many people could be fit in that building. They compare like their kind of, what their kind of scouts and spies have pieced together to figure out, how many people they usually keep there. And, it's a decent number.
Yeah.
Like I said, the building is kind of fortified. And they're debating how the best way to get in would be. So I want you to describe, since you're the player, to describe a rough strategy, because Kyle is there to be, chipping in, of how you'd like this to go down, and then we'll figure out dice rolls.
Okay.
We're not going to do this, D&D style where you move room to room through the door.
Yeah.
You're going to make a roll based on your, how you come up with your strategy and see how well it does. And then we'll jump over to the other Baron and do that for the other guys.
So rough strategy being dependent upon what Maddox and Autumn's lieutenant iron out. Well, first, what would they iron out? So I have that information.
Okay, they figure they keep about 10 people in there at all times.
Okay.
That's just their rough guesstimate. The doors are undoubtedly reinforced. One of the guys suggests, that you could probably, that back fenced area and the roll-up door back there, that roll-up door, I doubt there's much way they could really reinforce that.
Yeah.
So if you had like a big vehicle, you might be able to drive through the fence and just plow through that door to get an opening.
Okay. Do we have a big vehicle available to us?
There's a even or odd.
Well, you know how I handle this. I roll a dice. Odd.
All right. There is One of the guys knows where some 18-wheelers are parked.
Okay. So if that's our game plan, really. All right, just give me the hug. Get it over with. Come on.
The Munchkin.
Yeah, she's over there just like at the door. So if that's, he knows where one of them is. Seriously. What am I gonna do with you, kid? Do you want to say hi while you're here? You're just gonna go pet my plant? Okay.
I can't tell with the blurred background. Was she wearing a mask or did she have a hat pulled down over her face?
She just pulled a hat down over her
Oh,
face.
okay. She knows anonymity is important.
Yeah. All right, night, kid. Sorry. Attack of the child. So, if that's the case, then rough plan is load guys up in the bed, ram through the door with the 18-wheeler, pour out. If we have any floor plans or anything that are commercially available, identify areas that are more easily fortified, and use the barricaded door fallacy of you can barricade a door all you want to, but a wall is only so strong.
The building is mostly cement block.
So, okay. On the inside and the outside?
Yeah, probably so. Because it's an older building.
Okay.
And like I said, it was a garage or junkyard, scrapyard or something.
Fair enough. Okay.
Years back.
Well, depending on whichever one is easier, wall or door. But identify areas where forces might amass. Strike hard and fast while the confusion is still there to hopefully keep them from bunching up and having a more unified force. Once we get those areas identified and purged, then move out in teams or kill teams basically, and hit other areas of opportunity in the building to try to eliminate resistance and then set up fortifications against reprisal attack.
All right. So what I want you to do, let me pull up your sheet.
Okie dokie.
Well, I just need a sheet to look at because,
Yeah.
I can't remember what all the skills
It's fine.
are called from one system to the next.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This would probably be wits.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of what tactical kind of stuff would fall under. We'll say leadership.
So that's only 3 dice because Kyle has a 0 in leadership.
That's fair. But you're not the only. But I'm gonna give you a 2 dice bonus because no, you're not the only person involved in this strategy either.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll go ahead and will you allow me to rouse my wits for an extra 2 dice?
Sure.
Okay. I do get hungrier. So it's hunger 3 now. Alright. Ready?
Yes, I've already rolled, so they're on their side. So they got a 3.
Okay. Alright. I got a 3 as well.
All right.
Tempted to... You know what? I'm going to burn a willpower to reroll these 2 black die to see if I can get a better margin.
Okay.
To see if, might be able to prevent excessive casualties to our side. And by casualties, I mean injuries.
Yeah.
Extra success, so 4.
All right. So you got 4. They got 3. All right. So you won that one.
Okay.
So truck plows into that back roll-up door, through the fence, through the backyard area.
Mhm.
Let's hear an echo over a second. Smash through the back door, fine. Your people spill out of the cab of the truck. Where is that coming through?
I know what the echo is. My mic is picking you up out of my headset.
Oh.
I was just looking at it and I saw it light up when you were talking, so I will mute myself while you're talking.
Okay. So you plow whoever's driving plows the truck through the back door. Some of you start spilling out. This looks like this place may be fully staffed. There seems to be plenty of people here. But you catch them by surprise. The truck flattened knocked a couple of guys. Fighting gets intense. You see one of August's men take a shot, and there's like sizzling and some burning. Clearly, they've got some incendiary rounds. Your side has got some incendiary rounds. But this initial exchange seems to be going your way a little bit more. Now let's cut back across to Wheeler. And what were the rest of you guys?
I just finished ordering dinner. You had the most perfect timing ever.
All right, so you 3 are involved in
Shenanigans?
Potentially.
going up into the landscaping place.
Yep.
And trying to retake it.
I think the play here is we grab all the NOS, or as many NOS as we have, which is at least one other with me and wow, blanking on name. I've typed too much stuff in. Walter, yes, sorry. At least me and Walter are stealthy. And then I think Egidio would bring this up and be like, so I think our best plan is to go in invisibly first, or as close to it as we can get, and he kind of gestures at himself. And if it's occupied, take out the first wave, or thin them out a little bit before we send everyone else in guns blazing.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
There are some other NOS here. One of them's like, what if they've got Malcavs or Tremere?
Pick them out first. That's what they've been doing to us.
I mean, as far as it being hard for us to sneak in there, potentially.
I see. Since the unseen, I believe lets me check that. I will. Yes. Can see ghosts, other incorporeal beings, dormant blood sorcery, or vampires hiding. So he will activate Sense the Unseen.
Okay.
We're gonna, and he'll say, "Oh, I can sniff it out if we get a little closer." But
yeah, what I'm saying is they can sniff us out.
Right, but they can't sniff it. We have to pass the thing for the thing to go off. I can see it, is what I'm saying.
Okay. What he's talking about is people like you that can potentially see Nos.
Oh, okay.
Or see people
I
that are
thought,
obfuscated. That's all he's talking about.
okay, that's
You
different.
know,
I thought he was
the
talking
Tremere
about.
can do that as well a lot of times.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
eyes work both way.
yeah, for sure. I thought he was talking about like wards or something that like de-stealth people.
No,
which
he
is
wouldn't know anything
a
about
really
the
cool power that
specifics of
doesn't exist yet. White Wolf, pay me money. That's a good idea. Anyway, yeah, he doesn't have anything for that. He's just like, well, it's a risk. It's a risk no matter what.
Walter, what would you
uh,
suggest? What would you be adding to this conversation? And they've got other stuff going on. You know, this is their main focus is recapturing kind of their HQ,
Mhm.
and hopefully finding out where their barons at.
I mean, he would pretty much agree with Egidio in the fact of which it's a risk no matter what we do, but we can at least attempt to get closer and take out the more threatening ones if need be to any stealth mission.
All right. Does anybody have anything to add to the conversation?
She will assist in as far as like firearms, but she is not sneaky, so she would probably be more backline.
Okay.
I think Egidio would add to that and say, like the most dangerous thing we can do right now is nothing.
Sergio definitely agrees with that. This is the time for action. Just need to make sure it's the right action.
For sure. And he'll add like, I'm not even going in invisibly like you guys can. I'm just really good at this.
See, Sergio's like, and humble too.
When you're good, you're good.
All right, so I'm picturing Walter, Egidio, and the other Nos going in front line with other people kind of hanging back, behind neighboring buildings or ready to rush in if like just a big fight breaks out.
The other option we have is we can perch there, and then they start the assault, and then we go in, swarm in. Like those are both options we have.
All right, which way you want to do it?
I am partial to someone making a loud noise and then slinging them from the other side.
So have somebody do like a frontal assault while y'all
Yeah,
sneak in the back.
and then
Okay.
we sneak in. Yeah.
Any objections?
Did you have? I remember you saying something was it at the meeting? You still had some of the C4 on you.
Yep.
Would that would make a loud enough noise out front?
It would. Someone has to be ballsy enough to go and do it. Set it off, and then we also have to then go and explain why there's a chunk of hole in this Baron's like door when he comes back.
Cam did it.
Cam did it. Yeah, I was gonna say
That'd be Sergio's immediate response. Cam did it.
It was because of the cam.
So
Cam's fault.
So then Egidio goes like, yes, and he'll look around and then he'll present a charge. He didn't bring the whole thing with him.
Yeah.
But he has a couple.
How many blocks of C4 has he carried around in his pockets?
Say 2. He has a bag. And then he would say, we found these, when they were bombing us, or framing us for bombing, the local area.
Sergio looks at you. You know how to use that?
Can't be that hard.
That gets a startled look from several people in the group.
Egidio flashes a shit-eating grin, fangs and everything.
All right, so y'all are going to use the bomb and kind of a frontal assault, while other people.
I'll have the detonator. Are these like on a wire or is it wireless?
The detonators you have access to.
The ones I would have pulled from that place.
Let's see. The detonators that were with the explosive that was like stashed in the bar in the mall are just timers.
Okay.
If you grabbed any out of the actual building, actual house they were holed up in, their safe house.
Yes. Yep.
If you grabbed any of those, they had a variety of detonators, including,
Just
ones that you button.
Yeah, but is it attached to a wire or is it wireless?
Wireless.
Okay. Hand it to Sergio. He'll be like, here. He's gonna hand him one of the wireless ones. He's like, now don't set it off yet. The entire bag goes off. But if all someone needs to do is plant the charges and then, boom.
He's kind of like tossing it up in the air. And,
Don't do that.
No. I'm just judging the weight and thinking about how far I could throw it.
Well, I'm gonna be, and you said there's like high windows.
I have not described anything about the.
Okay.
About the landscaping place.
Okay, well, paint me a picture so I know what I'm sneaking up on. Please.
All right. So it's a picture an ale with a really fat bottom, bottom line, and that's that's the shape of the house or the shape of the building.
Is it an ale?
Ale.
L.
The letter L.
Okay, sorry, accent.
So that's the big building. It's got a parking area out front. It's on a big square property. It's in kind of the back corner. You've got driveway. You've got areas where they've got like stacks of pavers and all. All kinds of the supplies and stuff that you would use for landscaping. It's got a big kind of shed, garage, whatever you want to call it, kind of over in the other back corner, with a lot of. It's like the kind of it's there's no walls. It's just kind of a covering where they've got a bunch of like lawn equipment.
Okay. So if it's that large of a building, does it have? Do I get the sense looking at it that I'm gonna have to fight my way going up, or?
No, it only looks one story.
Okay, it's just a large one-story building.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's probably the size of like a two-story house, but it's but it's not like a multi-floor. Not something you're dealing with.
Is there some sort of so as you're describing that it's L, is there some sort of I guess he wouldn't rappel because it's only one story, but like a perch of some kind?
At the points, there'd probably be like some ventilation that you might be able to sink a finger into if you got up there. If you could get up there to begin with.
It's one story. It can't be that hard.
I'm not entirely certain what you're going for here.
Yeah. It's the way I initially pictured it when you said it was L-shaped before you said it was one story is like, okay, you can rappel down. Like I'm picturing some like one single like large room. It's certainly not that.
No.
Then yeah, I think being on the sides and being in like windows that could be opened or broken into easy enough is the play here then. and then just waiting for the booms. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. So then Egidio will say to Sergio, "Well, I'll be over there by that window. So if you get cold feet, just toss it my way, and I'll do it."
All right. So you wait a little while. Those scouts he sent out comes back. He tells you they're fortifying that. Like out where I said there were stacks of pavers, they've got people kind of stationed out there. You know where they can use those things as cover.
Mm-hmm.
There are lights on inside the building, so they're doing something inside the building. One of the scouts had enhanced senses, and he smelled something burning in the air.
Ooh.
He didn't see any fire, but he catches a whiff of burning.
It's enough to raise your hackles if you're a kindred smelling it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, Gidio will
All right.
suit up, as it were, and start headed out. Watch for fire.
All right. So y'all need to give me first. Pick which one of you is. How do I do this with multiple people? Yeah. So whoever's getting in a position to sneak in, give me a.
Hey, that's me. I'm definitely the sneaky one between the two of us.
Stealth. I guess Dex stealth. Walter, if you're sneaking in with a GDO, would be the same thing with you.
Dexterity plus 3.
Really, at this point, Walter's probably just going to stay more on the outside, obfuscated, but on the outside, just kind of, if he needs to advance, he will, but mostly he's just going to be
Christ. I'm gonna
ready
reroll
to...
a bunch of those.
That just sounds oh so healthy. God.
Actually, I'm gonna reroll. What is that? 6, because I think I can do 6, and I can spend 2 willpower. If I'm remembering that correctly.
I just hear Josh over there going, "Oh God!" and then just blackness on the screen.
Earlier, he was rotating his face around for some reason.
Because there's an interesting like image effect that was going on the screen. I'm just like, oh, okay, well that's just kind of neat.
I thought that's what you were playing with.
7 successes. 6 and up, right?
Yes.
7 successes.
Nice.
All right, so a total of 7 successes.
Definitely the stealth through out of all of us.
Yep.
I have 10 dice to roll, and I got 3 successes. That was horseshit.
All right, so that is 6 versus their 3.
And I agree with that wholeheartedly.
This is what I built Egidio to do.
All right, so you advance up. Everybody else is getting to place. You advance up. You've got a lot of heavily armed guys hidden amongst those pavers, stacks of pavers. But you also see some that are like keeping a very close lookout. But they don't seem to have spotted you.
What are the numbers like on the? Can I see inside?
Give me wits awareness.
Yeah. One success.
So you're peeking through, and where I described it as that kind of L shape, what I described as the fat bottom side.
Yep.
That's peeking. You're peeking in there. That's like a storage area where they keep some stuff inside. Where that smaller side is probably like the office area that where they run the business. That burn smell is definitely coming from this room. You can see there's something burned because this room's got just a cement floor. There's something burned out in the middle of the floor. But with
Something
one success,
burned
you
onto the floor?
can't tell what it is. There's like a pile of ash and other stuff out there. But
Well, so I guess I would know, even if I don't know what it is, I would know if it's like blood magic. So it's not blood sorcery.
no, it does not appear to be. It's not triggering anything.
Cool. All right.
And you can hear some other people kind of moving around in there.
Egidio will see. Okay, then Egidio sees that. It's not an effective way to communicate
All right,
that.
let's cut back over to Eric.
Okay, I think Egidio will say, "Oh, they're barbecuing. I think they're barbecuing inside," and leave it at that.
All right, so far both of you have succeeded at your first roll because we're doing basically this is going to be a 3-roll thing.
Okay.
For each side.
Gotcha.
All right, so Kyle, your initial, the initial assault is going well. You said you were going to be moving room to room.
They're going to be hitting the areas where they might be able to put up a good defense first to prevent them from fortifying.
So you bust into this kind of open room, and then you start beelining for like the offices, places where they could, take
where they
cover.
Could hunker down. Yeah.
All right.
What is my dice pool again?
For the first one, it was wits leadership.
Wits leadership, yes.
But now that we're brawling, let's go resolve.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Most of your guys are shooting, not brawling.
The Bruja are shooting?
Oh, the other side's got an incendiary round. You gotta do something.
Yeah, that's fair.
I guess we'll go leadership again. Still with that, 2 dice. For there being other people involved. Other leaders here.
Alrighty.
But this is you sticking to the strategy and not just snapping and jumping, but also, keeping everybody else.
Alright. I succeed on my browse to boost resolve. So I got another 2 dice.
Your opponents have 4 successes.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Alright, so you managed to get people into the offices quickly enough.
Mm-hmm.
That they haven't managed to get in there and either slam the doors or throw desks up, to take cover to. And once you get them in that enclosed space, well, then you can go melee.
Mm-hmm.
What's left of them have fallen back to kind of just the opposite side of the building.
Okay.
To what was probably the break room or whatever when this was a garage.
Yeah. One thing, Kyle, I will say, if as a point of order, are the people we're fighting, are they being left in torpor as we're going along?
A lot of them, in the falling back, a couple of people that get dropped, get dragged by their buddies next to them.
Okay. Kyle will give one order to finish the fallen.
Yeah, I don't think anybody here would have a problem with it. Yeah. Like Maddox's people glance at Maddox to, get his okay on that, but he gives them the nod.
Okay. I figure since there's 3 leaders here, that'd be Kyle on the front line giving that. Once he sees the enemy dragging their torpid friends out, he's like, put rounds in them. I don't want them getting back up again.
So and you've lost a couple of people, but so far the speed and savagery of this attack seems to be carrying the day.
Okay.
All right, cutting back over to Wheeler.
This also potentially might really make the Brujah happy. They've been itching for a fight.
All right, Emma. You see Sergio setting up the explosive. He basically tells he tells everybody, all of y'all that are holding guns, if this lands where I want it to and it goes off, it should throw some of them out into the open. Obviously open fire then.
She just nods and has gun it ready.
Yep.
So Emma, give me a, let's see, firearms. And what is it? Do we usually use dex for firearms?
Could be dex, could be resolve, could be wits. Whatever you're feeling at the moment.
Yeah. I know one you use is composure too if you're like trying to like steady a shot or something like that. But
It would be composure or like strength to like hold back a kickback if you have like a shotgun.
I know the one for strength is like if you're up in melee with someone.
Yeah.
And you're like shooting someone in CQC, but
Let's go with composure firearms. You're lining up your shot and you're just waiting for that explosion.
Alrighty.
You're also trying to not to get rattled by the explosion.
Yeah, that's really where I guess where the composure part would come in.
It's also we've established that it's a breaching charge. It's not like it's not a boom. Right.
5.
Well, no, the blocks you got was just a block of C4.
Right, but
it's just plastic explosive.
Okay, so it does go make a boom.
Yes, this one would.
Okay.
They had a variety of stuff. Like the stuff they put on the door was more of a breaching charge.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, Sergio, kind of chunks the thing out there. All right. What was your successes?
5.
All right. So you got 5. They got 3. So you hear one of them yell out as they see whatever that is come landing in. It blows up. The paver, two of them stacks of pavers get knocked over. People get flung around.
Does the glass shatter?
It's close enough to the building. The windows on that side, at least, probably shatter.
Yep, and that's a GDO's cue, and he'll. I know we're doing a three and out, but that's where he is right now.
Okay, so he's going to use that to like dive into the building.
Yep. Still kind of hidden by his shadow cloak, so he's at least a little harder to hit.
Yeah. So yeah, those guys get thrown out. Emma's taking shots. A bunch of gunfire opens up. Inside of GDO, you hear a couple of people swear. Basically kind of like what the hell was that? Clearly they're trying to take this place back. Give me a wits awareness while you're in there.
Yeah.
As you jump into the room with the burned. Well, you can tell for sure it's a body.
Okay.
Now that you're in there.
Let's. Wow. I'm re-rolling that.
Okay.
Jesus, my.
Spend a willpower to re-roll 3 of them.
Yep. 2 successes.
Some of the clothing looks familiar.
On the people, or on the body?
On that burned up body, and it's decomposing fairly quickly. So you know for sure it's kindred.
It's a kindred.
It reminds you of how the local baron dressed.
Okay.
You know, you can't be 100% sure, but it's not looking good.
I will. I mean, there's not much I can do about that right now.
No, not really. All right,
But I'll go
Walter.
just find a spot to hide.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So-
Explosion happened. Shots being fired. And Big Man needs to figure out where to be to make the front line. All right. So, storyteller, what are my options in terms of targets?
Bunch of people have been. There's a couple of people that are still hiding behind pavers that were far enough from the explosion that we're okay. 3 or 4 people just kind of got scattered out, and the gunmen in your group are like unloading on them.
Okay, so gunmen are taking care of the ones that fell over. The others are still hiding behind pavers.
Mm-hmm. And they're returning fire.
Now, I'm assuming these pavers are getting sturdy. They don't seem like they could easily be topped over.
How strong are you?
I've got 4 dots in strength.
All right. Do you have any potence?
I have 3 dots in potence.
Oh, yeah. You could flip. You could flip these stacks over that. Too much trouble. I mean, they're stone or cement or whatever, but the
All
size
right.
of a pallet. But yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Basically, at this point, that he like one of the people that's using it for cover, he's just gonna, while he's just obviously just come up and just push the SOB right on top, or flip it, or whatever he needs to do to it, to pretty much try and crush a person.
All right. Give me. Would it be strength?
This could be strength.
Roll or
This could be
strength
strength and
athletics?
potence.
Well, yeah. I mean, the potence is.
Well, before I do anything though, yeet. I fail, so I'm gonna get hungrier, but that should now have my one of the what is prowess? That should have
Yep.
prowess active.
Yeah.
All right. And what does prowess do?
Basically, that makes it to where whenever I make an attack, that's just adding the potence into the damage.
Okay.
I think that's
And
what we discussed last time, was that
that
it
is what it
was
does.
damage, not successes.
We had the discussion with Blackjack, so yeah, it's just the damage. But it does make your
Specifically for damage, yes. However, it I believe it adds dice to feats of strength.
yes. That's what I was getting at.
All right. So give me a strength athletics roll. Add your potence as dice. You're not really punching somebody. You're running up and you're like flipping all this stone over on top of them. So it's more raw feat of strength sort of thing.
Add the potence rating of the user to their unarmed damage value as well as to feats of strength.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So that would be.
Or does that make?
athletics.
Or wait.
So it might just add 3 to whatever your roll is.
Well,
if you
that's what I was.
succeed.
That would be way too strong if it was at 3. That's
Well, would it be?
Well, it's the add
So
3 to
not-
damage, or add 3 to feats of strength. Not really. I mean, you still have to get a success for any of it to trigger. I would say, kind of like you had to do in Scion.
okay.
So, like for modifiers, add it as 3 or no? 'Cause
No. I think we were about to do it wrong. Just give me a strength athletics, and as long as you get 1 success, your potence will count as those 3 extra successes.
All right. Now Jesus says what?
Oh, sweet lord, my dice do not like me tonight. Maybe I should have been using the dice. They got 1
Well-
success. I think you're about to mess somebody up.
Yeah.
Well, I got 2, and then add the 3 in, so that's 5.
So yeah,
So,
y'all's
Emma,
assault is going fine.
So Emmy, you come back to Walter invisibly, comes up, sees one of these pillars, and flips it on top of somebody.
As one does.
So yeah, it's like nobody sees Walter, and suddenly he's just there next to one of these pallets of pavers, just flipping it over, burying like the couple of guys that were hiding behind it. And apparently,
you're
they don't
using
come erupting out of it, so apparently they didn't have potent, so they're now pinned under there.
Because Walter's just like, well, you're using it for cover. I'm about to get rid of that cover.
Now, flipping back over to Kyle's group.
Yeah.
Most of your people are kind of converging on that break room. With a few people behind there, you hear, gunshots, or one or two of the guys had like machetes or something they brought, melee weapons they brought that they're like hacking heads off, putting down the ones you've left behind.
Yep.
So, let's see, you're approaching the break room. A couple of them are like firing. You got two people kind of on either side of the door firing out. Almost gives you the impression of more cover fire than anything else.
As in the camera doing it, or
Yes, like the camera just trying to hold you up at this point.
am I feeling heat coming off these bolts? Like, are we having incendiary rounds coming at me, or
You're quite certain both sides have been using a lot of incendiary rounds in this.
No, I mean this particular exchange with the cover fire.
Yes.
Okay. Is there a metal desk in one of these offices?
Yeah, I'd say one of the offices you cleared out would have one of those old style big metal discs.
Okay. And is the rounds that they're shooting look like small arms fire?
Yeah, they're using pistols.
Okay.
Nobody's got assault rifles or anything.
Yeah, Kyle's gonna pick up that desk and just charge that door with the desk as a shield.
Okay, and everybody else kind of falling in behind you.
To basically absorb the small arms fire and kind of break the deadlock.
Give me a strength athletics then.
Alrighty.
One, two.
Alrighty. That is 1, 2, 3, 4.
They got 8.
Damn.
3 tens, and another success.
That's a lot of successes. Okay.
All right, you said you had how many?
4.
Okay.
So half.
All right, so you take 4 levels of aggravated damage.
Okay.
But you also won 2 out of 3 of the contested rolls. So while this round is rough on you, you take hits. A couple of people may get hit. You do manage to get through the door with that. You knock those guys back. The rest of your people rush in. They put those 2 guys down, and you realize they were holding you up while the other survivors were dropping down. They've like jackhammered up part of the floor here, and they're dropping down into like the storm drains.
Okay. We'll take a quick look and just say hold or chase.
What would Maddox want? Maddox orders a couple of his, orders some of his men down there. Basically with orders, catch them as you can, don't go too far out.
Kyle will turn to Miles and Kincaid, and he'll tell them to send a few down with them, follow their lead.
Okay. And you hear some sporadic gunfire down there. But after a little while, they come back, and they've taken out another couple, but some of them probably escaped.
Okay. Kyle's like, ugh, that shit stings.
But so you have taken the building.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, over at Wheeler, you guys won all 3 of your contests. So,
I think as we're wrapping this up, when we're pushing them out, are they also making a skedaddle?
well, the guys outside are pretty much just getting eliminated.
Okay.
Inside, you see a lot of guys start pulling out little bottles or little flasks and downing them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're just supposed to hold them up. When they bust in here, we just have to hold them up for a couple of minutes, and then then they'll spring the surprise. As you look around, you see stuff that does not look like these like supplies for this business. They're set in a corner here, or you realize they're set up against. Some of them are set up against like the load bearing walls.
I will immediately text, "Do not go inside."
One of those guys like, what's the surprise exactly? I mean, are they sending in reinforcements or?
And Egidio is also fucking bolting it. He will actually yell at the top of his lungs as they're finishing off everyone there, like, "Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out!"
You start pulling back. One overeager guy runs forward and kicks in the front door, and then you start yelling. He starts backing up, and before he gets back across back across the parking lot, though, the building just goes up in flames.
That's gonna be a roll.
Oh yes, that's a set difficulty. I don't have to roll against that. So yeah, everybody in the general vicinity.
Everybody.
Give me a check.
Oh boy. Well, it's a good thing. What's the benefit to riding a frenzy?
I know that in one of the lore sheets, the Golconda one, you can ride the frenzy and then suppress a following one.
I guess it's just a Gangrel and or Golconda thing.
I believe so.
Gangrel riding the frenzy lets me only generate 1 animal feature and only take 1 penalty to my stats.
Gotcha.
But riding the frenzy in general, the storyteller still effectively has control of your character and what they do. You can just kind of direct it. Okay, someone seriously pisses Kyle off. And I fail a frenzy roll, and I decide to ride the frenzy.
Mm-hmm.
Ride the wave, basically. Jason would say what Kyle does. I basically just put the laser pointer on who he's aiming him at.
It's like I might say he attacks the closest person to him. Yeah. Well, if Emma and Stafford were roughly equal distance, maybe Kyle could pick which one.
Yeah.
All right, Terror Frenzies, difficulty 3. Go.
It's what, willpower and humanity?
Is there
I've given up trying to figure it out. I'm just putting it what I have.
Well, is it the
Well,
frenzy
there's a
button
frenzy
down near
button
the
down at the bottom of the sheet.
Yeah,
It
that's what I
should have
mean.
that
I just press the
calculated.
button and see what happens. Successes. Let's go.
You're fine. You knew it was coming. You're getting some distance. Your back, it's to your back, so you're not actually looking directly at it.
Mhm.
The GDO is fine.
He's still running.
Oh yeah. This doesn't mean you're not afraid of it. Just that you don't lose control.
3 on the nose.
All right, you maintain control. Walter.
2, 4.
Let's see, if all these thin bloods came from Huntsville, there may or may not be a coterie from Huntsville going Anarch.
Especially if Jolene finds out that they've just used the Thin Bloods as
Yeah.
bait.
Yeah, and the thin bloods were Samuels too.
Yeah.
So if they
They're
just took them all out, he might go, well, I guess I know where these fire hands are going.
Julian's like, well, it's time to take my reign elsewhere. It's been real.
The Queen's work is never done, but I am. Goodbye.
Also, Sarah, it seems as though something has fallen in front of your camera.
Like a book or something. A
Ah,
sticky note.
Adjusted. Yeah, it was a sticky note because Chris was like, can you leave me a note for something? And I'm like, yeah.
All right, so there's an explosion. No, not the plastic explosive kind. There's a whoosh of fire. It was clearly designed to do, as much damage as possible.
I love that the I just imagine for just a split second, Egidio goes into like his mind palace, sees load bearing beams, sees piles there. It's just like, nope.
I'm a head out.
Now, several of the people with you freak out and run off.
As long
If
as-
any of
as
them
lo-
are close, go ahead.
Yep. I was gonna say, as long as they're running away.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, nobody's running to the fire. And this is a terror frenzy, so they're completely in, flight mode.
Mhm.
Or, flashback to the last time Walter had to deal with fire, and he's just like,
Naima, was there something you were going to do?
If they're at least running away, should at least kind of keep track on where they're running to try and, or how many are running to account for them afterwards.
Okay.
I will text the coterie group chat. Meet at the clubhouse. Got some news.
We're leaving that quick? Oh, clubhouse. Where's the clubhouse?
Your office.
We're relocating back to our domain that quick?
Eventually.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so everybody.
I feel like the key figures that wanted to have any plans after this are gone right now. So I think we're done skis here.
So yeah, you guys, Sergio, the ones that didn't frenzy, fall back to Crow Cemetery.
Okay. That's where I'll tell Sergio the news.
Let's say Kyle's response to that group chat is basically just 2 emojis of a dude with a party hat and one of those like sweeper things, and a number 2.
This will be asked about later.
Yes,
And
it
just
will.
puts the phone back in her pocket.
So anyway,
Yeah.
Egidio tells everybody. I'm assuming tells everybody
Baron.
what they saw.
Baron is quite literally toast.
Sergio's like, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's going to be a power vacuum, and I think that's exactly what they wanted.
Most likely. I
Did
don't
they have
the people.
someone?
Go ahead.
Did they have someone in their coterie that they could trust, or just so we can have a temporary second? Can't let this area fall.
Yes, and I don't have enough people to cover mine and theirs. Not with Priceable right there on my ass. We'll have to see who all we can find. I'll have to call in favors from the rest of the barons. Maybe borrow a few people from each of them.
We'll
I think
get some
that's a
folks over
solid
here.
idea. Yeah.
But
What's the residential areas around here like? Are there looky-loos?
The gunfire and stuff happened so quickly, and it's late enough that you with everything going on, you did not notice anybody. And specifically around this place.
Okay. Judging by how you've described it so far, it seems like a commercial area. Which at 3 in the morning probably isn't doing anything.
Yeah, there's a couple of properties close by, but it's one of those where like the backs of the properties might butt up to the back of this place, but then there's like it's a wood line and stuff. There's a few things across the road, but not densely populated. Y'all pull back immediately. I mean, obviously the explosion and the fire preceded by some gunshots. They're going to have some people waking up. So everybody either pulls back or goes to ground because obviously going to have police swarming this thing for too long.
Yep. So, I think Egidio delivers that. I think he goes. I think we got to go. I think we're done here.
Yeah. Well, falling back to
The
Pro
cemetery.
Cemetery is a couple miles away. You're
Oh, okay.
you're good there.
Okay.
Might want to take a circumspect, route back.
Circuitous route.
Circuitous, thank you. And he tells you, a couple of ways to do that does not involve swinging down far enough south to clip into Hartzell.
Been there already once.
He knows. He's heard. Guess the stories that from down there are, overblown.
Egidio didn't see anything.
No,
So nothing's there.
Though we did hear the explosion of that one car that went over.
That's fair.
All right. Meanwhile, Kyle, y'all have taken the building. Maddox has got some of his people down there, figuring out how in the world they're going to try to fortify this entrance way to the storm drain.
A lot of cement.
There's some debate over just demolishing the building.
Already ran an 18-wheeler into it. Can't be that much harder to take the rest of it down.
Right.
Also, depending on what the 18-wheeler had on it.
We do have some plastic explosives. Might be able to collapse the sewer entrance to this area to block off that means of egress.
You might notice. I said the city might notice.
They might, yes. There's not a lot of ways you can block a sewer off, though, unless you just fortify the underground at that entrance and just have people manning it.
Not that he would know, but to be fair, the police are a little occupied right now.
Or we could put some serious welding down on this area here.
Grade it. Well, for the time being, he'll Maddox will move a bunch of his people into the area. Half the staff from the hotel can come over. I mean, not the actual hotel staff, but the staff he keeps in the hotel.
Like I'll say, this is yours and August's area. I saw a target of opportunity, and as I said I would in that meeting, I'd be on the front lines helping fight for it.
Respect the plus.
And you're living up to your word, at least.
I try. I don't know how you and August want to divvy this out, or if you want to share defensive responsibility over the area.
Most likely, we'll come up with some sort of arrangement like that.
And hope.
Obviously, they'll try to retake either this or something in the area to try to maintain access to the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
One of his men comes up and reports that they finished putting down the ones that needed to put down, and they've been going through their weaponry. All of them had at least one clip of incendiary ammo, but most of them, that was all they had. They had backup clips of like regular ammo.
Yeah. Okay. So we can salvage. Well, they certainly left enough ammunition and weaponry to salvage. Help fortify this area further.
Oops.
And if we've cut down on their supplies getting in, then hopefully this will be an actual hit to their supplies.
Hopefully. In case you need it, since this was a fully fortified area, I do have a box of plastic explosives if you and Autumn need it. August, not Autumn. If you and August need it. Have a little bit of explosive ordnance on hand in case it's necessary.
It doesn't hurt to have that sort of thing on hand.
I'll have it sent your all's way via circuitous route.
Thank you, Baron Adams. And before you leave, Maddox's office shake hand.
He'll shake his hand. Nothing like a fight to bring people in equal standing.
As y'all are leaving, Miles is like, I think you made a friend, and
Hopefully. The less we're at each other's throats, the better. We have a common enemy.
So yeah, he moves some of his people in. Everybody's a little surprised that there's nobody seems to have noticed that this semi has smacked into a building. You think the police, or something.
Let's say, from what I understand, there's another attack happening to the east, so that might be gathering their attention.
And about that time, you start getting, messages coming. Different people start getting messages coming in about, exactly what's going on over there.
Kyle gets the message to the group chat, and he just goes, "Party 2."
But
No. This one's party 1. You're party 2.
But by the time y'all manage to loop back around to your domain,
speaking of, did Kyle's men take any casualties? Or fatalities, I should say. There are probably some casualties of injuries.
Let's see. You won 2 of the 3. Even or odd is whether or not you took anybody met the final death of your guys.
Odd.
6.
Okay.
You lost one of the brute squad.
Okay.
The biker gang that confronted the rest of the group when Kyle was busy that time.
Mm-hmm.
One of them isn't getting back up.
Okay.
Womp womp.
That's the nature of war.
And it's also not surprising with incendiary bullets being fired.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's gonna get screwed, unfortunately.
The fact that
Y'all-
Kyle's still standing.
I mean, he took half of his health.
Yeah. Toughness, baby.
No, I wasn't active. Toughness doesn't do anything against aggravated damage.
What am I thinking of then? The one that gives you a health check.
You're thinking Define Bane, which is a fortitude power, but I don't have it.
Well,
No, the one that gives
you do have one
of
with a baseline that gives you a couple of extra health levels or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have that, but I took 4 of 8 on my aggravated track.
Yeah. No, still quite a bit of damage. Just
Yeah, it was.
you're still standing.
That's true. I am. Kyle might be a little proud that he managed to get forces together to take a cam stronghold.
Oh, very spur of the moment too.
So when are we doing the hospital? I have a few ideas. Not all of them involve C4.
Anyway, by the time y'all are getting back to the domain, you know, regular news sources are starting to report on the, you know, there's been this big explosion. You know, Emma, as y'all were leaving the area, y'all were hearing police sirens off in the distance. But you take the little back roads that Sergey recommended. And you know, you manage to get back. So is there anything else you guys want to do this evening?
I think as we get,
we do have the meetup that was called for our coterie.
Yeah. Just us.
Yeah.
No,
Just
meet
back
back
at the
at Flip
office.
House.
Yeah.
Just so we can swap notes.
All right. So when y'all get back to your domain, you all meet up at the office.
Yeah.
Miles and Kincaid are like, you know, all like happy and fist bumpy.
Yeah. Kyle will shoot a text to Ada that insert biker gang person's name here is taking an extended vacation.
I
Understood. -1.
I picture it like some kind of abacus that she has. Just
Those old style ledger books.
Each line represents one particular clan.
Fair
I
enough.
could see that, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Kyle would show up looking worse for wear.
GDO looks a little fucked up too.
On a scale of 1 to 10, which one of you are more fucked up?
Kyle, and it's not even close.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Kyle took half of his health track and aggravated damage.
We'll talk. And
About
That's
what?
what we're here for.
I believe it's a different matter she's talking about. But other than that,
Your nose is fused over here, buddy.
I need to send some people over to North Wheeler for security tomorrow evening.
Attack that bad?
Their Baron's dead.
He was already dead before we got there.
So I wasn't able to draw away as many as I thought.
I think it was more than likely already done before we got there.
we were called to one party, but unfortunately, I believe you happened to come across a potential second one starting a rave.
Oh no, I started the second one.
Ah, well, there you go.
My hope was to get some pressure off of you all.
He probably did, and just it's one of those intangibles that we just are never going to see.
Fair enough.
Yeah, considering the amount of travel time and time between being notified of it happening and it possibly happening, it could have been a long gone conclusion.
I saw 2 Thin Bloods in there, right? Or how many did I see in there?
You saw 2 in the room you were in. There were probably some more in the office. Somebody's in the office building.
There were 2 Thin Bloods, and there are probably more in that building when I breached it, and then well, you know how the rest went.
They
I
dropped the building
don't.
on their own people.
Actually.
Yes.
What?
Okay, so we breached, and as we breached, I went in through the side, and
good idea.
Yeah, and as I went in and looked around, first off, confirmed the body of the Baron, burned to a crisp.
Well,
so,
considering the news, if he wasn't, he probably is now.
Sure. And I overheard some Thin Bloods talking about uh, holding us back for a surprise. And as they said surprise, I looked around and there were piles of clutter on load bearing beams.
So trying to draw you all in and then collapsing the burning building on top of you to try to take out a large chunk of the enemy forces at once.
And using the Thin Bloods to do so.
Classic tactic.
Yeah. Um, I think we can use that against them.
Possibly.
I think there's a disinformation campaign we can use here.
As long
Or
as we use the
even
appropriate
just
channels.
information campaign.
Yeah. If we can use the right channels, that might be something we could use.
I bet
At least to
there's a Thin Bloods from each other.
to galvanize the Duskborn in our domain at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
Considering the fact that two Duskborn were the ones responsible for the bombs, we should definitely make sure we vet anyone that comes into the domain.
True. Well, as for the party I was involved in, I rallied our crew, Miles, Kincaid, and the rest. Managed to get Maddox personally, as well as some of his men, and August Lieutenant, some of theirs. And we took over, and captured the northern stronghold by the bridge.
Oh, look at you being somewhat impressive tonight.
Yeah,
So
not bad.
hopefully we have that cut off, and we potentially have the cam within the city completely surrounded.
Oh, that is a nice gesture, though due to the power vacuum, this is going to be a bit of a nuisance.
Yes, it is.
But we did say we would provide support, which is why we're going to need some of the brute squad to act as slight security for a bit.
We did lose one of our own, but overall, considering there was incendiary ammo in mass in there, came off pretty okay.
That explains the.
Yeah. They had a valiant last stand, and I took the brunt of it.
Oh, I will admit that is a rather heroic thing for you to do, to at least block most of it for the boys. I do hate that we lost the one.
I think the giant metal desk blocked most of it, but I digress. Yes, I learned my lesson from last time.
Either way.
But
I don't
I-
recall if we lost anyone in our little escapade besides the band, of course. I think once the fireball erupted, most folks got out of there. Though I do feel sorry for those two poor bastards I got caught underneath the pallet of concrete. Well,
Don't be, they would have done it to you if they had half a chance.
that's the nature of war.
I know, part of me would feel bad, but unfortunately, no, I could quite frankly not care. Luckily, I saw some of the scrawnier ones behind it, so might as well get rid of the cover.
Fair enough. But yeah, I heard about the attack on Urals in, and I thought, hey, they might not be anticipating to be attacked in kind. So,
By the sound of things, they weren't.
a few escaped. They did jackhammer a hole into the sewers in the floor of one of the buildings, or in one of the back rooms. But we did put down most of them. So their standing forces have been depleted by, I'd estimate, about 75% in that
Hell of an
particular
estimation.
area.
Okay.
Well, the forces manning that stronghold
Gotcha.
took approximately, I'd estimate, around 75% casualties. And we did capture a decent portion of their munitions, and it's likely that Maddox and August will probably be doing a co-oping defense thing. I do owe them the crate of C4 that I got out of the Dead Man's for explosive ordnance in case things go south, or in case they need some explosive ordnance for something to hit a little heavier.
This
Fair enough.
this might embolden our allies to try to reach or overreach. We need to make sure we have the numbers before we can. We need to make sure we have our numbers where they need to be before we can expand further.
Yes. Like I said, this was more of a strike while the iron was hot. They might not be anticipating an attack while they're being attacked themselves, especially from a different battlefield altogether.
No, this was solid planning, like A+ all around. No notes.
And we have potentially managed to cut off the cam in the city entirely, except for,
The weirdos in the middle of town.
well, except for more secretive routes. I think we might have just cut off one of the last of their main transport routes into the city to get supplies and reinforcements, or into the city proper. Anyway, but that being said, I am in pain.
She's pretty sure Kincaid doesn't know she can heal, so she's not doing that right at the moment. If Kincaid is still there.
He is, though. If the intelligence, swapping back and forth, is winding down.
Kyle will turn to Miles and Kincaid. So, well, gave your people a target to hit. How they feeling?
Pretty
Well,
good.
we're talking about it for a while.
Hate that we lost somebody, but it's good to be active. It's good to it's good to take it to the camp.
Y'all did a damn good job.
Now we just got to brace. Now we just got to brace for that counter strike.
We do.
If you have any
it's going to be in
ideas
our
of
domain.
people that would be good for assisting North Wheeler, gather that, and we'll try and get some folks over there. They're gonna need a couple people.
How many do you want me to send? I can put a list together.
I'll get in contact with them. If we can just have like a short list of maybe 5, 10 max. Let's see how many they're getting and how many they need. I don't want to deplete our forces to save theirs.
We are a frontline battlefield.
Yeah, 10 would be most of my guys.
Yeah. At most, maybe then 1 or 2.
Okay.
But that's something we'll deal with tomorrow.
And yeah, Kincaid and Miles will hit out at that point. So you hear walking out the front door, you hear Kyle go, "Oh, what did she do to her car?"
I hit a guy.
Oh, is that what that was?
You're next if you ask more
Yeah.
questions.
Taking a full scene for Valerian.
And now she's just like, shut up so I can heal you.
Basically.
Yeah, just like slap. Just doing the display because I'm like, wait a minute.
I think you have every 3 is 1 ag.
Yeah.
But there's no penalties because she's taking the scene. So.
Mm-hmm.
Rousing intelligence to add 2 more dice.
Okay.
At this point, Walter will actually kind of turn to Egidio, kind of scratching his chin at the thought. So, how do we go about getting more numbers at this point? I don't want to do Grandmother Dorcas's tactic and do a massive
I
racing.
don't want you to do that. I would kill you.
6.
I'm not saying we are. I'm just trying to think of a creative suggestion.
That was 6 successes, so you managed to heal 6 wounds.
6 successes, so 2
2
points of
wounds.
aggravated.
Okay.
I don't have enough dice to get 6. That'd be a lot of dice.
I was about to say that's a lot of crits.
I need more
don't-
dice.
I don't have the answers yet, but I think we can pull some strings, and we already kind of have someone who is known for, who has a penchant for, recruiting people, I'll say.
Fair
Just already
enough.
working as our go-between.
Speaking of, how is that going?
That's a good question, Jason.
We haven't checked.
We got anything back?
From your emissary,
Yeah.
have you been sending anything Stafford's way?
I haven't said anything Stafford's way, but I do have every now and again I'll send like just a missive of like how we're feeling in the moment. It's and I'll send it to him and be like, here's the basics. You can draft up something better. And tell him to, and have him pass it over.
Okay.
Mostly that it's just a very important decision. We're on the front lines. This is a decision we can't take lightly, which is all true statements.
You want me? Shoot, I'm blanking on your ministry guy's name now.
Let me find it.
It's like it's a very important decision. We're on the front lines, and then Kyle hits a stronghold.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not only that, but the cam also just like turned around, was just like, "Hey, we're just going to kill a baron here in the Anarch territory." Ha ha.
Well, Stafford is just trying. It's just Stafford trying to make a deal with you guys.
Oh yeah, no.
He's trying to get you to swap from being Anarch. So, killing some other Anarch, That's if he was even one of the ones directly involved.
And I'm sure he also understands that the reverse will also happen because of the nature of war. Colin Rowe is his name.
Colin, that's it. Yeah, Colin tells you, okay. Basically, you want me to keep stalling him on that decision as long as I can.
Stalling, and if there are any inroads that you feel, this is a very dangerous ask, but if there are any inroads that you feel like you can make to reversing that effect, or
Reversing what effect now?
not reversing that effect, I'm wording it wrong. If there's any inroads you feel like you can make to maybe get a couple people on our side.
Ooh, that's gonna be difficult. From
Yeah,
what I can tell, Stafford's people are pretty afraid of him. I mean, there's some respect and stuff there too. There's also a lot of fear.
Yeah. Well,
And of course, they portray us. They portray us all as savage monsters. So
yeah. Well, then I guess you have to prove them wrong, then, don't you?
I am doing my very best.
I trust that you are.
But years of propaganda against my clan makes it difficult. But one does what one can.
I have nothing but faith in you. That's a big thing for you guys, right? Faith.
Oh yes, yes. I should really sit down with all of the barons and discuss faith at some point.
Put a pin in that until after the war.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Then they can find. Then I can find out if they know anything about our Lord and Savior said.
There you go. But that's all he really has him doing. So unless anyone else has him doing anything else in particular.
Yeah. All right, so it's getting kind of late in the morning, or early in the morning. How you want to, late at night, late in the evening.
And that's how. Then yeah, Egidio will go to his he'll go to his haven after he'd be like, all right, it's been real, guys. You two need some privacy to finish that up.
Leave
See
y'all
y'all
to it
tomorrow.
then. Have a good night.
Egidio will go to his haven, and then he will turn back on Sense the Unseen in his haven. And he'll see Mildred and just be like, just think for a sec.
When you get there, all the lights are turned up in the house.
Turn on or off?
All are on.
On.
The porch light, the living room. I mean, just all the interior lights. The porch light, the back porch light.
You're not wrong. Kind of what happened. And then he'll spot wherever Mildred is and just give her like a look, not of any particular emotion, just of like, if anything, the gist is that he's like, there's gears turning in his head.
She just mean mugs you the entire time. It's like y'all are in a staring contest.
Mhm.
And neither one of you have to blink.
Yep. And then he says, "Good night, Mildred." And he'll go to wherever his bed is.
Down in the basement, I believe.
Yep. The hurricane basement. Or tornado basement in Alabama.
Yep. Alright. And Doobie, you said Walter was doing what?
At that point, Walter would be, using his newfound legs to be hopping on back to his haven, though hopefully passing by the slums to get a snack if possible. But that would depend on what time it is. If he had enough time
by the time y'all did all this running around, it's probably like 4.
Ooh.
And the sun's up by like 5:30 at the latest this time of year.
No, he ain't gonna risk it then if he knows the time. It's just like, yeah, no. Yeah, he'll cross that bridge when he gets to it tomorrow.
Alright, what is Emma doing?
Yeah, she's probably gonna leave her vehicle. Well, no. She'll take her vehicle with her, park it to where it's not completely obvious she just hit a man this evening, and go to bed.
Okay. And Kyle?
Kyle is he's gonna go to bed. He's tired, he's in pain, he's taking a nap.
So, just as Kyle's laying down, just as the sun's coming up, he has this one moment where he realizes that he never got back with the crows, and then he's asleep.
I thought we already did.
Now, I thought we ended last time that you were about to head out to talk to him. Because
Yeah,
you were asking me if they would gather back, where...
Yeah, and then
And I was saying
you'd
have to go back to where they were.
Yeah, and we did. That's where he was while I was at work and not here. That's what he was doing. At least that's what I think you said.
That was where he was going when he got the text about the fight.
Oh, okay.
You'd have gotten interrupted on the way to do that.
Okay. In that case, he will go, and how I understood it is that's where he was, and then he got the text of the fight.
Okay. That's fine. We'll roll that back then.
That's how I understood it.
So
he will. So before he goes to bed, he will go talk to the girls.
Okay.
And feed them.
So I said, do you have to roll for that, or?
No, I already did the roll.
That's right, for the scout. So yeah, you get there, and they're waiting around expectantly.
He will.
Well, they're probably asleep until you get there.
Yeah, and he will have He'll have some food that he'll present.
Well, they are happy to take your food. All right. And they had begun following the limousine that you told them about.
Yeah.
They followed it to a building that, of course, they don't know what individual buildings are.
I'll say Kyle will have Google Street View out, and he'll be like sort of following as they're describing the path they took. I'll say he's a native, so he probably knows where some of these landmarks are that they're describing by description. I'd imagine.
Oh yes. But yeah, they managed to follow the limo back to an old firehouse. No, best you can tell, it's an old firehouse they've seen.
Okay, he'll like pull it up. Is like, did it look like this?
Yeah, when you pull up the picture of it, yeah, they recognize the picture.
Okay.
Yeah, just like that, but a lot bigger.
Fair enough. Extra food.
They're quite pleased. They'll tell their buddies about you, which is something crows actually do.
Yeah, it is.
Like you or loathe you, they're gonna let everybody else know.
Yeah, my mini human is in the process of trying to befriend the family of crows in our backyard.
Food would be a way to do that.
Yeah, it's going okay. So
now just watch to see if random crows start showing up.
Yeah. So far it's just 2.
Oh.
Before you know it, you'll have done committed a murder.
Boo.
He's not wrong though.
Well, she wouldn't have committed; she'd have gathered.
Yep. Acquired a murder.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, so y'all sleep.
He would. So before, as he's going back to his haven, then since he has that info, he will sort of pan out on the street view a bit, do the screen capture on the phone, and he'll shoot that to August.
Okay.
And he'll with the caption of potential next party location.
And it's late enough you don't get a response back from him, that morning.
Yeah.
And then as the sun rises and you all slip into unconsciousness, we will wrap there for the evening because we're real close to 9:30. Not enough time to get into anything else. So this was a productive evening for you guys.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah. Did say we'd be getting more into the war aspect of the Cam versus Anarch, so
I need to smooth out how I'll handle like tactical situations. It's like I don't want it to become a war game or anything, but some of that kind of stuff's gonna have to factor in.
It's just gonna happen, despite that's the nature of vampire in general.
Yeah.
Especially with 2-faction war.
Though I definitely like the making being sure to use the kind of 3 rounds and out way of
3 and out is really good for a ton of people.
It's really the only way to do it.
There is something in the advanced conflict section of the PDF is like 3-2 done.
That's pretty much that's pretty cool.
That's the one. That's what he's using.
Yeah, 3 and out.
Yeah, it's like after 3 rounds of conflict, storyteller and players should ask, have we reached a conclusion? Will anything change dramatically with more exchanges?
So anyway, hope y'all had fun. I enjoyed it. Hope anybody that came by and watched or comes by and watches later, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll join us next time. If you're looking for more games, check the schedule below. Diver's got more games going on. Let's see, is there anything else? I can't think of anything else. We should be back next week. Again, I was your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me was Eric as Kyle, Duba as Walter, Sarah as Emma, and Jeremy as Egidio. And we will see y'all next time.